What's up with you, everybody? Joy, peace, sparkly, you feel me? Welcome to the Kenny Show. Today is July 4th, 2023, you feel me? It's the 4th of July. And I just want to say thank you for watching and tuning in. And the Kenny Show is sponsored in part by Kenny VIP. Basically, you pay $5.55 monthly to have access to premium, exclusive, 18+ adult explicit content from me. Joy, peace, sparkly. Now, let's get to the show. First, we gonna talk about 4th of July occult sciences. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're into numerology, you can see something specific about the date of the 4th of July. One is that it adds up to 11. 7 plus 4 is 11, which is the number of the psychic or intuitive. This is a master number vibration. So if you was born on the 4th of July, you have more intuition than the average person. Your brain is like a processor that picks up a lot more than the average motherfucker. You are more sensitive. You are more artistic. You are like a radio that's getting more signals from the pure consciousness or enlightenment from the universe, galaxy, everything that's manifestation. Like, whether you want to call it aliens, whatever, you're getting more interaction. You're in tune with the higher consciousness, you know what I'm saying? And what else about the 4th of July? Well, in Vedic astrology, 4 is a number of Rahu, and 7 is a number of Ketu. And Rahu is basically like a dragon's head, and Ketu is a dragon's tail. They represent shadow nodes of the moon. So wherever Rahu and Ketu is in your Vedic astrology chart will actually show you your main obsession in its incarnation. Rahu will point to your main obsession, what you're obsessed with, and Ketu will point to what you mastered in your last lifetime and what you're detached from in its current incarnation. So let's say you have Rahu in the 2nd house, which is like the house of money. If you have Rahu in the 2nd house, then you're obsessed with making money. You're all about the moolah, you know what I'm saying? You want the cash. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. But if Rahu is in your 2nd house, then that means Ketu is in your 8th house. So that shows what you mastered in your past lifetime and what you're detached from. So if Ketu's in your 8th house, that means you mastered like the mysteries, the dark spiritual mysteries, the occult, the mysticism, the magic, the witchcraft. So you're detached from that type of stuff, but since you're detached from it, you're actually very masterful of it. So it's a very, very unique placement to have. So if you have it, you're going to end up making a lot of money because you're obsessed with it, basically. And that's it. But wherever your Rahu is placed is very educational in your progression in this lifetime incarnation. And it's worth understanding, worth knowing, and really worth researching. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's go on to our second topic. Is America freer than ever? What do you think, America? Are you freer than ever? Do you feel freer than ever? What's my opinion on the subject? I think America is less freer than ever. And this is why I say this. We're more monitored than ever. Like in old times, It wasn't like cell phones. It wasn't cameras everywhere. It wasn't like facial recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say if you was like Bonnie and Clyde, many people didn't even know what you looked like. There was no way for them to know what you even looked like. So you could be like Bonnie and Clyde in one city, go 100 miles into the next city, and nobody will know who you is, basically. Even though, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, so, like, in our current day and age, you can't just, like, go move away 100 miles and start a brand new life. You know what I'm saying? You're not free. Like, you know, you hear that rumor about many fathers, like, going for milk or going for cigarettes and leaving their families. Those fathers wouldn't even go that far. They wouldn't even have to go that far, really. They could, like, go 200 miles up north and start a whole new family and nobody even know, basically, because it's like they were freer. They didn't have all this paper connection. They didn't have all these IDs. They didn't have all this registration. They didn't have to do all this stuff that kept track of their movements, you know what I'm saying? But now in America, you can just be a father and move away 100 miles up the road or 200 miles up the road and start a new life. Because basically, your family could find you, you know what I'm saying? It's so much easier to be found. What you do every day, the money you spend, unless you spend in cash and they trying to make that obsolete, they could track everything you're doing, which means you're less free. In my opinion, my cat over here trying to mess with me. Get out of here. So basically, less free, in my opinion. You have more luxuries, more comforts, you know what I'm saying? We got videos, all kind of stuff, but we're less free in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Your face is everywhere. In like 20 years, when they make cash and coins obsolete, government or anybody could just be like, hey, we don't want you to be able to use no money. Click one button and you can't even spend, so you're trapped in a sense, like almost like a full-time 24-hour prison, you know what I'm saying? So I think America has more comfort. It might be funner than ever, because if you think about it, like, pornography back in the 1930s was basically like, you know what I'm saying, like women in bras and lingerie and stuff. Like, people got off to that. Now it's so much easier, and the access pornography is so much more, it's so much, you know what I'm saying? So those kind of things make our quality of life better, but we are a lot less freer, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Gotta, you know what I'm saying, give and take in this reality, you know what I'm saying, with faith. And I just say, like, no matter how free or not free you feel like you are, you know what I'm saying, you are in charge, you know what I'm saying, of your own happiness, of your own thoughts. Your thoughts are completely in your own control, so make life and reality the best for you and turn your hell into heaven. That's what I always try to do. Our next topic is, why is military recruitment lower than ever? And in honor of the 4th of July, I had to talk about this subject because we are independent because of our military strength. Although I like to preach joy, peace, sparkly, joy, peace, sunny, and lead a peaceful life and project a peaceful philosophy, I'm well aware that peace and benevolence and treating people as we want to be treated is not what's actually protecting this nation. What's protecting our nation is military strength. Our enemies, greedy people, oligarchs, other governments, foreign nations, understanding that we have superior strength in military power. That's what's keeping them from just coming over here and taking over. Kind of like how, like, big countries tend to take over smaller countries constantly, all the time. It's frequently occurring, and it's because the smaller countries don't have any defense. Their military lacks strength. So us as a nation, having less people going out for military positions is becoming a problem. And instead of just focusing on the problem, I try to, like, focus on the solutions. Like, one solution is something I'm already seeing occurring in media, The return of the toxic male masculinity figure. The return of G.I. Joes. The return of, like, Rambo. The return of, like, The Expendables. Shows like that. The return of, like, Terminator. The return of, like, all these movies that kind of, like, subliminally encourage military interactions and subliminally implant, like, the urge, the desire to be strong, to be alpha, to be masculine, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that would actually help, like, if we start highlighting masculinity again. That might help military recruitment. Another thing is just, like, economically, people have so many more options. They could be OnlyFans models. They could be Uber drivers. They could be sex workers. They could be DoorDash delivery people. So the low-income segment that tends to proliferate military recruitment has so many more options. They're not joining military recruitment. So I say one way we could fix this is by making military recruitment even more financially lucrative, you know what I'm saying, and offer even more benefits that's exclusive to, like, the average person. So, like, I gave you two solutions. One is the idealization of the masculine macho hero, once again, in cinema, films, and pop culture entertainment. Two is military incentives and exclusives that make the life of somebody in the military a lot more lucrative and entice people to work that job as opposed to being an Uber, Lyft driver, or a sex worker. And then finally, the solution will be basically more transparency with the military, more transparency with why we fighting these wars, why we doing these things. I feel like if we understood the causes for these wars and understood the real reasoning for them, and we wasn't fighting for things that the average American person didn't believe in, then it'd be easier to recruit Americans to join the military. I feel like a lack of transparency and people feeling like they wasting time fighting wars that's useless or doing things that's stupid is keeping people from even joining the military and putting their lives at risk for something they truly don't understand or believe in. And that's it for my rant on military recruitment. And if you want to join, I suggest you do it. You got to be under 34. You get a lot of money, get a lot of benefits. It's cool. You get strength, you get bigger body, you get stronger, you learn self-discipline, you become a trained weapon. It's cool, in my opinion. Now, we're going to go into my final segment of today's show, which is predictions for the future. Now, it is July 4th, 2023. The world has changed drastically, you know what I'm saying? And what I can predict far as the future would be a lot more changes, honestly. Like, things are going to keep changing constantly. When it comes to the automobile industry, they're going to keep implementing electric cars because they're finding a way to monetize it a lot more. And they're going to keep implementing a lot more changes when it comes to technology with, like, the augmented reality thing, like with the Apple Pro Vision, those type of things. They're going to replace computers. Like, people are not going to have cell phones. They're not going to have computers. They're going to have augmented reality things that's easily put on their head, their glasses. That's what's going to be the future. People are not going to have these big computer monitors anymore or sit at a laptop. They're going to sit there and have the augmented reality VR glasses on and say the words and have the thing type it. People don't want to write no more. People don't even really want to type no more. They just want to talk their message out and have it written in proper grammar, proper English. That's going to be the future of technology and communication. And that's going to change the way our information is processed and change the way the academic process works. So many different things. And another thing for the future I see coming, in addition to the augmented reality, is basically more escapism through and content. So we're gonna have like more escapism in the video games. The video game industry is going to take over, basically, especially when they implement augmented reality. That's going to become bigger than the movie industry, bigger than the film industry, because it's going to create, like, say, like James Cameron have an avatar augmented reality planet, and you want to have access to Pandora, you got to pay this much money a month, and that's what's going to take over now. They're going to create theme parks within augmented realities and charge subscription fees for them. Not only this, but augmented reality, AI personalities and people you can interact with, augmented reality wife, augmented reality boyfriend, girlfriend. These type of things are going to proliferate that type of situation within the next 10 to 20 years. And this is what's going to reduce population rates significantly, because people will honestly rather have sex or masturbate or whatever with the augmented reality person who's their complete, utter, ultimate fantasy, as opposed to the real person. So population rates are going to decline significantly, in my opinion, and it's going to give us more comfort, more leisure, more pleasure, which might lead to more peace and less conflict, but at the same time, less genetic proliferation in a sense. And those are just a few of my predictions from the future. Who knows, they may or may not happen. But that's the end of this show. I want to say thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for watching. I'm not sure when I'll do these shows, but I'm pretty sure I'll do another show again. And I just want to thank my sponsors, Kenny VIP, that's KENNE.VIP. And there you can subscribe, $5.55 monthly, see a lot of exclusive adult content, exclusive videos, morning messages, a lot of nice stuff that I can't put out there for everybody to see, exclusive stuff. And it's just a way to support, support me and help out, and I'm thankful for everybody who already subscribed to me. Thank you for those who will subscribe to me, and I'll talk to y'all next time, you feel me? Joy, peace, sparkling.